everybody. I'm here with my friend Nora. My name's Rebekah, and I'm a nurse and certified ketogenic nutrition specialist. Me and Nora met in Texas at KetoCon this past April, and she has an amazing story, and I just wanted to let everybody hear her story and get it out there. We're at Copperwood Tavern. We're at Copperwood Tavern, and yeah, it's farm to table, and we're in DC. Well, technically, we're in Arlington,
right
Virginia.
outside.
The ribeye was the bomb. Okay, I thought it was the best ribeye I'd ever had. She was like,
it was close.
It was pretty close.
It was very good.
But we also we both went out of our comfort zone and got the steak tartare.
Had some nice raw meat for an appetizer.
We did, and actually, it was tasty. It was
very flavorful.
It was very flavorful, but it was also shocking that I was okay with the texture.
Me too, to be honest.
The texture, I was like, it's gonna be weird. Steak tartare is actually pretty tasty. No, granted, it was chopped up tenderloin. So who doesn't like a fillet chopped up? So Nora, to tell us a little bit about you, who you are, and how you got to this way of eating, and what your diet's like, and anything you really want to add.
Alrighty. Well, hi everybody. I work in cardiology as an echo tech. I scan hearts all day, and I discovered the ketogenic diet in 2017. I have been trying to get pregnant for quite some time, and I was doing fertility treatment, and I heard the keto diet should help. So I tried that from 2017 to 2020. And after, unfortunately, our IVF embryo transfers failed, I was lost and I didn't know where to go from there. So I discovered carnivore, thanks to Dr. Kiltz. He suggested I need to get my inflammation down.
Yeah.
So I started carnivore easily, surprisingly, in March timeframe of 2020. And I've pretty much been carnivore ever since. So 3.5 years.
Okay. So you have come so far in your journey. I know that you did have, you did get pregnant, and so you've been, and you lost that pregnancy.
But I got pregnant naturally.
Yes.
In April of this year, thanks to carnivore and
Awesome.
quitting alcohol. So I definitely attribute it to that.
Yeah. And that's great. And I know that was a big breakthrough.
Yes.
From going from fertility treatments to
IVF for 9 years of fertility treatments.
And then changing your diet, dropping the alcohol, doing meat, and you get pregnant,
Yes.
which has to be a big, huge hope, right?
It was.
Big hope.
So I have been working with Cheryl for the past few months, and I have been doing a supplement protocol. And I tweaked the carnivore diet to the more lion diet.
Okay.
I upped my fats to 75%, which has shown so much positivity with my hormones.
Yeah.
I did not realize that women need so much more fat. And so when I started adding that raw butter to every meal, it improved my sex hormones. Night and day difference.
Did you feel better?
Yes,
Was there a noticeable difference?
Noticeable difference with sleep, with energy.
Okay.
I was more, and I was also more satisfied with my eating, which was shocking. It helped with cravings. Carnivore helped with all of my sugar and carb cravings, but I still realized from time to time I might mentally want to veer a little bit.
Okay.
But upping my fats took that all away.
So, because you mentioned like 75, so I'm assuming it's like a 75-25.
Yes, 75-25 protein.
So,
fat protein.
So what were you averaging before you up to 75, or did you track it?
I did. I want to say it was maybe 60%.
Okay.
So it wasn't a huge difference,
but it can be.
Okay.
That can, to me, I feel like if you're like doing a 60-40, that's a huge difference compared to the 75. Okay. If you look at the grams, grandmas, you're like, wow, that's a lot of fat that I've just added back in. But so it's interesting that women do need that much. And I think that people don't understand why women need that much. So, steroid hormones, so all your androgens, so those are all made from cholesterol. And if you're not eating enough and your body is shuttling what you are eating to the rest of your cells, where is it left over for your hormones?
And it's crazy, while working in cardiology, we are taught the opposite. Cholesterol is bad.
Exactly.
So
right?
unlearning all of that, that's been quite a challenge.
I bet I bet it has. Was that hard for you to kind of switch your mental thinking after you've been taught?
It was, yes. But once you realize what does the damage, the processed foods, the seed oils, the sugar,
the chronic inflammation from especially stress. Stress is a big one.
But when I saw my blood work was getting better with eating a carnivore diet, I noticed it was easier to transition to the higher fat.
Yeah, exactly. Well, and people, talking about blood work, people think about, well, my cholesterol went higher because I went keto or carnivore, and in the beginning it usually does. And one of the reasons is because you're burning fat. And if you're releasing body fat, it goes where? Into the bloodstream, which you're testing, and you're actively losing fat, actively burning, and so it drives up all your cholesterol too.
And interesting. Okay,
yeah,
it makes sense.
Well, I mean, and they say in some circles that if you are active fat loss, you should not get your lipid panel ran because it's going to skew the results because you're actively burning fat, and so that changes it.
Okay,
so
makes sense.
It makes sense to me too. If you're accessing stored body fat, it's got to go somewhere. Where is it going to go? To the blood to go be burned. So it makes sense, right?
Yes.
So, anything else you want to add and talk about?
I'm continuing on. I'm seeing progress with the Lion diet and the supplements, and
I haven't jumped to that one yet. Lion diet. I'm not brave yet.
It's an adjustment. I wanted to give this all I could with my nutritionist, and so I wanted to do the ultimate elimination and see what healing I could do. And we've had great progress. I track my sleep with my Oura ring, and I've seen it progress with that, my sex hormones. So I'm just going to keep trucking along.
Well, you talked about the elimination. What triggers have you found for you? Because there's it's different for every person. So my carnivore keto journey is different from Nora's. So I seem to do sort of okay with eggs. I can't have chicken. So what have you learned is a trigger for you and inflammation in your body?
So prior to Lion, I was having an omelet with homemade sausage every day, and I didn't think it was affecting me. Come to find out, I do allow eggs sometimes on the weekends. That's my cheat. And it is causing bloating, and just my stomach is not appreciating eggs anymore. So I guess that is a trigger now. Pork, I don't have any problems with, which is crazy to me because most people do have a
some
histamine problem.
Some people do, yeah.
So you had suggested possibly trying just the yolks
instead
of the egg whites. So I'm going to give that a try. That's another way, I guess, of eliminating, breaking it down even further.
Yeah, well, and egg whites can be super inflammatory for a lot of people. So it's one of the big ones that people need to eliminate. Unfortunately, because there's so many great recipes with egg whites in them. Okay, I'm going to ask a weird question. Okay. Do you do any sweet treats? Or do you feel, how do you feel about those? People eating them all the time. I wonder if that's keeping people's insulin up, which is not healing insulin resistance and things like that.
When you're healing and if you do have weight loss that you need to achieve, or just any kind of healing, I'm an abstainer. I am not a moderator. At all. So I can't have any sweet triggers. That's just me. I'm not healed. I am not mentally strong enough. So for me, I do have to abstain from all sweet treats. And for most people, I've found they have to as well.
Yeah.
So if you really want to heal, get rid of all treats.
Yeah. So I know that a lot of people, though, they stall out. But they're still doing fat bombs, which are fine in moderation. Hey, I love a good brown butter bite every now and then.
Oh, yes.
They're so good.
But even that was a trigger for me. because they were like
they taste like
candy to me.
they taste like
And
caramel.
I couldn't
even
I
with
had to give them up.
even without sugar, like, or artificial sweeteners, they taste like
a
candy.
treat.
They
It's a
taste
treat.
like candy. Yeah. So they do that, and they're making keto breads. They're making keto friendly cakes and cookies, or they're doing processed keto products. Please don't do those ever.
Whole Foods only.
Whole Foods only. And I think it's stalling people out, and that's where you get a lot of people who are like, this doesn't work.
Yes.
And
then they just give up fully instead of taking away the triggers.
Yeah. And I've noticed that, unfortunately, with people, it just doesn't work. Well, you're still eating sugar.
You have an addiction.
You have an addiction, a food addiction.
I had an addiction. Yes.
Yeah, I still have a sugar addiction. Like, it was hard to not eat 2 scoops of the pumpkin pie ice cream. Of course, no, granted, it's pumpkin pie. Never likes. Who doesn't love pumpkin pie?
I love it. I love it.
So
pumpkin spice all the way.
Oh, pumpkin spice. Oh, yes. Yeah. Well, we're going to get out of here because it is, looking at yours, it is 7:17 and we got to go.
Yes.
So thanks for listening, and look up Nora. You can find her on the internet.
Well, thank you. It was great catching up.
Oh my gosh,
yes.
Thanks, guys.